Let's talk about how to make a simulation with our mannequins. I do have a mannequin that has a screwdriver in his hand that is attached. It was placed there with a mannequin hand grasp. And so what I would like to simulate first is the mannequin reaching for one of these bolts. Simulate tightening it down, so he'll probably just put the tip of the screwdriver in the location and then move his hand back up, and maybe we'll have him to do that a couple of times. Now, to do it this way, I have already created the actual posture, so where the mannequin's arms and features have to be and how he's rotated certain segments so that way the tip of the screwdriver is making contact. I've already made those postures and I've already saved them into a mannequin catalog. I have a previously created video on all things mannequin catalog and how to do that, so if you're not familiar with it, check that out. But I've already spent some time making those, and to be honest, that is something that can take a while because I like to manipulate my mannequin's segments slightly so that way it looks more realistic. So I've already spent time doing that. So let's start off with that first method. To begin, I'm going to click on the simulation command, and it's asking me what I want to simulate, which is the mannequin. This is the edit simulation dialog box. You'll see an insert button here. If you can remember back, probably when you were younger in art class, you made a flip book. This is where you would, on a sheet of paper, draw like a stick figure, and on the next sheet of paper you would draw a stick figure, but it would be slightly different. And then you would, make 10 sheets or so, and then you kind of flip through the book, and it was almost like the stick figure was moving. I like to think of my simulations in a very similar method. You are inserting these different locations, and then CATIA will automatically animate how the mannequin should get from one location to the next. So to begin, I'm going to have it to insert its initial location, which is right here, its right arm at 90 degrees. And then it's going to reach for this bolt on the left, and I've already saved that in the catalog. Now the catalogs work like this. You're going to open up your catalog. You're going to select the characteristic of the mannequin that you want to have it applied. You find that in the mannequin specification tree branches, and in particular it's under the settings and it's right here, posture. So I want the posture of the mannequin to reach towards bolt 1. Again, I already have it saved, so you click on it, you hit apply, you then hit close, hit insert once again. Repeat this step as many times as necessary. I'm going to have him to stand back up and then once again reach for the bolt one more time. Selecting posture, going back to the initial state and hitting apply, hitting insert, and then maybe he will reach for the bolt one more time. Open your catalog, highlight posture, highlight the item, hit apply, close it, and hit insert. In total, I have 4 different spots where he's going to be. Let's play through this and see what it looks like. I'm going to rewind back to the beginning. And if you leave your interpolation step size set at 1, it just goes way too fast. So drop this down to something smaller. And let's watch. So he's initial state, he goes to tighten a bolt, he comes back up, and then he tightens it once more. So that's the first method, which is to rely on the edit simulation command plus having a predefined catalog of mannequin postures. Now instead of having a catalog, you could also just manually manipulate, and that would look something like this. I can click on forward kinematics, I can come in here and adjust these different segments. I can maybe turn his head, something like this. And then after you turn that button off, you can then just click insert, and doing that on the fly is also another method. The second method that I'm going to cover is utilizing the track. To use this track, let's close down our edit simulation by clicking OK. And that simulation does get saved in the tree if you want to rerun that. Using the track is still a way to make a little motion file, but this time the motion is based off of an object moving, and that object is typically not the mannequin, so it's usually something else that the mannequin is holding. So let's make a track for this screwdriver. Now I do have to do a little bit of cleanup here in order for this to work properly. The first thing that I'm going to do is delete his offset and attach, and we're going to have the mannequin to stay with the screwdriver via a constraint. So we're going to delete this offset, and then we can come in here with the attach and detach the screwdriver. Next, we're going to use our mannequin constraints. I find the one that's easiest is the fix on constraint. So let's zoom in here and select our hand with the screwdriver. So those are now connected at that location. There is one thing that you want to check in your internal settings. So if we go into Tools and Options, you're going to come down to the Ergonomic Design, Human Builder, and then you want to make sure that the constraint resolution is set to an automatic mode. Now we can begin with the track. The track icon is this one right here. I'm going to scoot my tree out of the way. We're going to select on the screwdriver. We're going to tell it to take place over 10 seconds. And then you can give it whatever name that you would like. I'm just going to relabel this the screwdriver track. And over here is the record button where you are going to insert the different locations. You'll notice that the compass is automatically snapped to it. Using the compass, you can pick it up and hit insert. Move it again, hit insert, move it again, hit insert. So I'm basically going to simulate him laying the screwdriver down on the table. So just rotating it and then just dropping it down slightly, heading towards that table, and then hit insert. You'll see that the track, every time I hit insert, it created a polyline between it, and that would lead to a movement that would be very jagged. So I want to change the path to a spline shape, and if we want to watch this, we can rewind it back to the beginning and then hit play, and you can see how the mannequin is following the movement of my track. So these are the two different methods that you have. You can either move the mannequin with its own posture, or you can move the mannequin via its constraints and an object. If you click OK to the track, it does store itself in the tree, so you can always come back and replay it at any point in time.